to graduate and make their mark on the world, but not Robert Shuck. He's 31-year-old Cornell College student who's been taking classes for, get this, 12 years. He's still living in the basement of his frat house, and he's here to tell us why he's in no rush to put on a cap and gown. Please welcome Robert Shuck. Robert, good to have you here.
Very nice to meet you.
Let's just ask the obvious right off the top. What is taking you so long?
Well, I started as a full-time student at Cornell. I was in the engineering school, and I realized that engineering was probably not what I wanted to do as a career field. And by mutual agreement with the engineering school, I left. They weren't sad to see me go, and I didn't want to leave Cornell, though. I wanted to be a student. I love the academic environment. If you haven't been to Ithaca, it's a great little town. It's a college town. So I wanted to stay, and I just started taking classes as a part-time student. And year after year adds on, I started doing other things. I learned to fly. I'm a commercial pilot. I was a ski instructor for a while. I started doing other things. But I wanted to live in the fraternity because it kept me attached to the university. And I have a lot of friends there.
Graduate and become a professor. That would attach you also.
Well, and that's probably what I should do. Honestly, I should focus more and do that. But the nice thing about being in the fraternity, and not as a graduate student or not someone living in an apartment in College Town, is I really stayed attached to the way the people in that 18 to 21 demographic, the way they think, the way they are. And frankly, it hasn't changed that much, which some people come to me that are older and say, I can't believe what people do today. It's been the same stuff the whole time I'm there.
You know what attracted us to the story, because we learned about it in an article in this month's GQ magazine. Okay, we could see that you want to stay and you don't want to graduate and you stay and stay. But what we couldn't exactly see, you live in a teeny tiny room. It's as messy as can be. It's in the fraternity house with guys and I guess girls too? Girls too?
No, well, they come visit, but they don't live there.
Who are at least 10 years younger than you. So your cheering squad is here, that some of the people from okay. You're over 31, and you say it keeps you connected, but I mean, you're spending your life with...
the major thing was...
You're adorable, guys, but you are 10, 12 years younger than he is. You know, so...
Well, first of all, I mean, I've paid for my schooling since after the 5th year. My dad cut me off, which is reasonable. And living in the fraternity is less expensive than living anywhere else.
You don't live in it because, you know, you could take a little house. Is that why you live in that messy little room?
It really has been very inexpensive to live there. And I live with 40 friends. I don't know, a lot of people can't say that.
Doesn't that interfere with your sex life? Or don't you have one?
Not so much anymore.
By the way, your friends leave every 4 years.
Yeah, but there's always more.
That's when he has a sex life. Every 4 years.
My friends leave, and I tell them, hey, if you leave and you find a great thing that you're doing and you think I'd come out and join you, leave college, give me a call, I'll come and leave.
And they never do?
Never. No.
No one's gone.
So a lot of people like what I do.
You're paying for your own tuition now?
I pay for my own tuition, that's correct. So I'm not on anybody's dime.
Where do you get that money then?
I was real successful early on investing some money, and I've worked as a flight instructor and various other things. And I pinch pennies where you can pinch pennies.
Right.
My bed's made out of plywood. I mean, I don't...
What does the school administration think of the fact that you live there?
I think Cornell would like me to graduate. Cornell, they have now contacted me and said, hey, can we help you along because it's better for the university.
They kick you out, yeah.
Once you graduate, we'd love to have you stay, you know, and take classes extramurally and be part of the community. That's great, but they would like to move.
So can they kick you out?
What?
Can they kick you out? Can they say enough already?
I suppose they could if they really wanted to, but I don't think they want to. I mean,
do you date the 18-year-old girls? I mean, you're 31, you could be married.
I have a lot of 18-year-old friends, and I'm very comfortable having female friends. I like having female friends. A couple of my female friends are here.
You never dated a freshman?
I did. 3 years ago, I dated a freshman, and it didn't work out because I was too old. But she was a very mature girl, and she's a very nice person.
But I just want to ask, because
she was a very mature
we all have moments in our life that we really love. Like, I loved my college years, but I've moved on from that. I wouldn't want to keep repeating it. What is it about you that makes you want to keep repeating it?
It's not repeating it. I want to be a lifelong learner, and I'll tell you that I will be connected to a college and taking classes at a college.
Living in a frat isn't being a lifelong learner. There's something else going on.
No, I'll leave the fraternity eventually.
Are you a procrastinator in general, or?
I'm a procrastinator on some things, I have to admit.
But I understand where you're at, because you have a community, which everybody needs to stay alive and to be happy. Plus, you're going to school, and your mind is constantly being challenged. I understand that.
Well, I'm
but
also
the dating is the issue.
You guys have a lot of sex. You can have sex at a fraternity.
You meet women that are like in the 28 to 30 demographic, and when you tell them you live in the basement of fraternity, they don't find that real appealing.
Also, what happens when you finally, if the day ever comes that you're going to try to get a job and you give people your resume and it says, right, for the last 10 years I've been living with them.
Yeah, the 10-year gap in the resume can be tough. So I figured, okay, what can I do? I could maybe run for Congress, you know, they'll take anybody. Or I could write a book. So I'm going to write a book about my college experience, and I think I'm going to pursue a degree in economics.
guy.
That's the
Economics,
plan.
okay.
Okay, so you feel you're going to be a professional student until it works for you otherwise.
Right.
That's good. Okay, hopefully you'll graduate before Ben and Gabe can maybe bring Cornell, who knows? Thanks to Robert Shuck. We'll be right back with Chairman of the
Grace
Democratic
starts
National
dating
Committee,
him,
Howard Dean. Oh, God.
It was at Chico's